for it. And then
All right,
we
we're
can
good.
edit.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. All
Wait,
right.
you're not on camera? This is
I'm
cool.
not on camera.
No.
You guys.
I'm just kidding.
That's not what I signed up for.
Okay, cool. So can you guys just say your names and your roles? What you guys do here?
My name's Gage. I'm a technician.
My name's Aaron. I'm also a technician.
I'm Leah. I'm the controller. I'm not even in service, but okay.
Cool. All right. So what is your dealership's experience with selling and servicing RVs?
That's for you.
Well, I've been in this business for about 9 years. I don't technically sell, but I work in over parts and I handle the day-to-day business on that part. And they work on them every day.
Yeah.
That they're here.
I've worked here for about a year now, and I know the company's been here for quite a long time. I've been in the business for about 6 years. Aaron, what about you?
What was the question?
How long have you been doing RV
How long?
service?
I've been in RV service since October. This is my first dealership. I have a lot of experience in a lot of things that revolving around what we do, but not specifically this. Got in here and I just love it because the diversity and all the new stuff we get to attach.
And then, how did you guys first hear about Expanse and Expo?
We heard about it from them going to the show.
Yeah, Morgan and I went to the NTP show and saw it on display and saw how innovative it was and how we live in Arizona, and we're like, hey, that could really do a lot for our customers who are asking for more solar, more and more, and you know, how many panels can you fit on a roof and how much is it going to get you? And we were really impressed, so we jumped at the chance to try bringing it here.
How about you guys? Did you guys just heard it from them? You
Yeah.
guys never heard about it?
Never heard about it before.
We
but,
came home and we're very big cheerleaders. We're going to do this, and they said, okay.
Was this like the first time you guys saw it, or you guys just saw pictures of it?
We saw pictures of it, we saw the pamphlets, and then we were all pretty excited to see it show up and see it in use and the practical application. We get a lot of requests from customers that want to go off grid and boondock more, and this kind of solves all those problems.
Okay. So what features did you guys like most about it? When you first saw it?
I like the amount that it's going to give you, that you can double up on it, just the actual application of it. It's not out in the elements driving down the street. It's, secure then. No flying objects are going to hit it while you're driving and you hit something and it flips up on your roof and shatters that panel. So I like the application. I like the durability. I like the amount of solar and wattage and what we can do with it, and you can continue to add on to it. And the amount of battery pack and how much it's going to absorb and keep together. So
I like that it's you can see it, right? A lot of solar panels just go on the roof and you forget about them. You don't see anything. If there's something wrong, you can't really see that. Typically, if this is out, you're going to see if there's something visually wrong. And also serves a different purpose, right? It's going to be an awning as well. So it's dual purpose, and it's not so much out of the way that you forget about it, because a lot of people don't even think about their solar up there. So I think this is going to help with that. Also, that, like Leah said, it's modular. You can add new, like another awning on the other side, and just keep on adding on.
So how important do you guys think it is in terms, because you can see how much space this takes up versus like a bunch of solar panels on the roof that you need. So how important would you say that is for your customers for saving roof space?
For the ones that want to do that boondocking and get off grid, it's super important. We sold a coach not too long ago that the whole roof was covered, and they literally looked at us, how do we get more? There you go. There's your answer.
Well, and the space on the roof is limited to the roof, and you still have to get up there and maintain your roof and the AC and this. And so to get around it, a service standpoint of getting around it without breaking it, or if you cover the whole roof, where are you going to get to the AC or the vent or the skylight or whatever? That's a huge risk for our service department to take too.
Right. So I guess why solar and not other options like generators or other power options? Obviously you guys mentioned you're in Arizona. So.
Right.
There's a lot of restraints on generators in general, right? Like quiet times. Who wants to buy diesel all the time or LP or just gasoline to have with them, right? They're loud. nobody really wants the generator running constantly because it can get way out of the ordinary. And then you never know what you're going to plug into at a shore power, who plugged that up, who wired it in, right? If you're protected from lightning strikes and whatnot, there's all these other variables. So if you can boondock and you're able to, why not, right? If you have that all on board, it just cuts all of those other risks out, and you don't have to buy extra things like surge protectors or generators. You don't have to buy a standalone or anything like that.
If I'm boondocking and I'm living off of solar, then I don't have to go into town to get those items too.
Yeah.
I don't have to go get the diesel, go get the LP refill. I don't have to refill that. It's refilling itself on its own. And that's like, if I want to live off the land, I don't want to go into town. That's why I'm living out there, way out. So
I think solar shouldn't be the backup. It should be the first thing, and then maybe if you have to use a generator until you can get the other side with the awning, right? But I think that's the big thing, is everybody relies on solar to be the backup, and when it should be the main source.
That's really good. So what about, now that you guys have, gone through installation with us, right? You guys were literally hands-on with us, right? What were your thoughts, initial first impressions about how that process went? How much it took to get it on?
I was pretty impressed with the process. It was straightforward. I like how it's broken down into sections, so you can pre-assemble and then install section at a time to ensure the quality of each section is put in place, so that when you get to the final stage of the test and the operation of everything, you know that everything up to that point is functional and in place and working for you.
Yeah.
And then you get to the other side of where to send all the solar energy and how to manage that. It's straightforward. It's plug and play. There's a lot of work to install it, but it's worth the effort because of what you're gaining out of the product is more than just solar. You're getting the awning, you're getting the shade, and you're getting the multi-purpose use out of it. And realistically, putting it in with practice is going to be smooth as cake.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of little moving parts, but the big thing for me is it's modular in a way, right? You can take off a certain section of solar of one of the lines there. If they fail for any reason, or if there's anything like that, you can change it out. I think that's a big plus to, like he said, the amount of work that there is. And then also it's pretty simple work, even though there is a lot of it. You can, as you get it down, especially for us when we're going to be installing them a lot, it's going to be easy to kind of get down pat and go. Yeah, and I like that it's kind of separate. You don't have to worry about every other step while you're doing it. You can kind of just do the one step and then move on. It makes it a lot easier.
What do you think? What were your thoughts as you sat here watching the installation? And
You know,
what you
it-
expected, I guess. What were your expectations? And then,
Well, I knew that they were individual blocks because we had talked about it when I saw it at first, but to watch each piece be added on, it was a plug and play. It was, not just hope this end and then hold the other end and then hope that you don't drop it in the middle. It was literally, well thought out to put it together, and that each piece and plugs in and runs as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, it wasn't cumbersome.
yeah.
No.
There was, two-man job, just go with the flow, and it just puts itself together.
Yeah, there's a lot of awnings specifically that are kind of hard to. They're not user friendly in any way when you're installing them, and this is like he said, it's a lot of work. So I think over time it'll get a lot easier. But even the little things, it's just so much more user friendly to hook into place, and you don't have to hold it while you're trying to screw stuff in.
Right.
You just you slide it in and you get to go, and then you can worry about the other big stuff later. So I think that's a big selling point.
Yeah. Did you guys have any thoughts on the quality of it, and the build quality, and anything like that?
I'll be honest. Oh, go ahead.
I think it's top-notch quality. I think from the fasteners all the way to the hanging points for individual parts, like he said, the fact that one thing holds itself to go to the next step, really well done. And receiving the input for things was incredible. Our experience in the last 2 days, I think, has been incredible with installing it, using it, and then getting the back and forth input.
Yeah, with how light it was, I was a little nervous that it was going to be kind of, but everything was really, really strong. I was surprised with how thin everything is. It kind of looks like it wouldn't be, but it's you can't really bend it or mess it up. I don't feel like. I mean, we threw it around a little bit and it withstood it, so that's good. And then, like he said, the input you guys have, we don't get that from the RV industry a lot. So being able to have you guys out here for the last 2 days and kind of walk us through it is very different, and it's good to see.
Most times they probably give you like a box of screws and stuff.
And if you call them and say, "Hey, how do I do this?" Figure it out.
Yeah.
They send us a paper. You guys are here. You're telling us what to do. We have questions. You answer them.
Well, to include the instructions were super thorough. We didn't really have to go through them having the team on site, but having looked through the instructions, they're so thorough and so clear. You know, we go through manuals all day and different instructions, and there's a lot of them that leave all of it out. You know, they don't even barely give you the basics, let alone a part number. Whereas when we were talking about potential warranty and item replacement, very clear, very concise. What bolt do you need to remove to do that? Very on point with that. And in the service industry, I'm not worried about just installing it. I got to worry about when it comes back to see me. Not that it's going to fail, but everything does. So how do we approach that? And then being as it is systematically built, we can systematically unbuild it to replace whatever could fail.
Then you guys have thought about that, like how to replace. Like, okay, when this does happen, how do you get those things off? You don't have to remove all of this other stuff we installed. You can remove just these things to gain access. That goes a long way. The thought process and how to attack things from a service standpoint.
That's good. And then, you know, what would you tell other dealers, you know, considering our system and, you know, carrying a command? What would your feedback be, or what are your thoughts?
Well, right now, because it's just 16 feet, and I was the one on the ladder, many phone calls and videos and translation of the actual unit on site to whatever, is, you know, the 16 feet, I can't wait till there's different sizes. That's going to be the best thing for y'all, to bring it down to a 5-panel, to a 4-panel, to a 3-panel. Because if I had a 3-panel, I could put it on the end. Do you know what I mean? I could have more. I could have more shade and more solar. You know, a 3-panel at the end. You know, that's what I'm looking for is, you know, and I think other dealers are going to look for that.
Yep.
The 16 is great. It's not going to application for everything across the board.
Sure.
And that's where some dealers are going to be like, I don't have that unit.
Sure.
I can't get that.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to a little bit more sizes, because that's going to open up more units, because not everything's 16 and so perfect to fit from top to bottom like this one.
I would tell another dealer or service department, don't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
When we first had this conversation and they brought it to our attention, we had an office meeting, it was intimidating. You could see it in people's faces. It was a lot. I mean, just dealing with solar and the operation is a big deal, but the way it's designed and put together is not once you get your hands on it, it's all of that goes away. Whether the team's here or not, it's check the box, move to the next piece. You know, it's not intimidating to install. I don't think it's going to be intimidating to maintain. Even comparing it to a regular awning, just as easy. Add a little electricity to it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then the selling point is it sells itself. You know, it really sells itself. You put that product or the pamphlets on your shelf, and you have a display and you show them, it's going to walk out the door.
That's the thing, though. I think that people aren't going to jump on until they physically see it. Once they see it, just like Morgan and I, if you would have showed me a pamphlet, I'd be like, no, that looks cool. But to see it, real life, not on a video, you can kind of touch it, you can watch it. That is what's going to sell it. Not a pamphlet, not a video. And I hate to say that, but, you know, even if you brought out one panel to a dealer, and maybe not the whole thing, just one panel, and say, okay, this is what we're talking about. They're going to be able, a tangible thing to be able to say, I'm in or I'm not in. They might not get the concept until they see it in motion, but they got to be able, pictures don't do it justice, video doesn't do it justice. You have reflection because it's glass, you know, that weighs in, you know, light shimmering. So until you physically see it in real life, that you can touch it and you see it, you just like those. We saw it, we were cheerleading it on, we couldn't wait to bring it here. They're like, great, yay, I'm glad. But, you know, until it got here, they saw it, they went, we bought in, we're sold.
Yeah, when they first told us, I didn't think that this was going to be the greatest idea, because most solar panels are kind of see-through. They're glass, right? what kind of shade is it really going to give? We're sitting under it right now. There's a little bit that makes it through, but it actually does a lot of shade. Like it produces a lot of shade, and I was really surprised by that. And I think that makes a lot of a difference, right? Because if you're buying it to also be an awning, some people don't want to get rid of their awning if they think that this isn't going to actually provide shade. So the fact that it actually does provide shade is a big thing. Also, just like, even without having the team, just the support you guys have, I assume you guys are going to have that throughout, meeting all of you guys. So having a dealer know that they have that support, it goes a long way. I can't tell you how many times we call other companies, and it's just a fight to get any information. So the fact that you guys came out here and walked us through it, and we have the information that we need, at least time will tell, but it seems like you guys will be here for the long haul to kind of help us out. And I think that is the biggest thing, really, is to make sure that we have the support, because that's dealer support is big.
Well, you know, and on that part about being an awning, that's the thing too, is people think solar panels, it just sits there. It's not doing anything but absorbing the sun and give me a little battery. This isn't just doing that, it is shading. It's an awning, not just a solar expansive panel. And that's the difference. If it was just an expansive panel to just cover the roof, you know, you got to go out and you're out there and it just covers the roof and it gave me nothing shade, then I still need an awning. So awning is not just, you know, solar panels. That was the thing, I think, when I'm like, it's solar, they're like, solar panel, awning, does not compute. So I think that until they saw it, that's what was that not right? You're like, solar panel, awning? No, it doesn't work like that. And so until they saw it.
Yeah, in my brain, it didn't replace the awning.
Right.
Like it didn't seem like it, but seeing it in person, it does. It does. So I think that it means a lot more to have it in person, like you said. So definitely have one on the lot.
Yeah. So did you guys get a chance to play around with the app at all? Or
we did today, and I mean, I got to open and close it with the app, and he showed me how I'm going to be able to read the, you know, voltage and the watts and all that stuff, but I haven't got to play with it more than that.
I see. Okay, so I know you guys don't have as much experience with it, but what do you feel about that and the importance of it, I guess, in terms of being able to use this, or how important do you think the app is?
The app?
Yeah.
I think an app goes a long way. A lot of these people that are buying these RVs, this isn't camping, right? You're not setting up a tent anymore. People out here, they want to glamp. They want all the easy things, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to have to go inside to push a button. So any kind of app is always better. I didn't actually get to see it, so I don't know how easy it is to navigate, but I assume it's pretty easy. And I think
You're
that's
get to read your voltage and your ampage and see what it's collecting and how much battery you have left and stuff like that. So to be able to see that, to go, oh gosh, I have nothing, it's nighttime, do I need to turn on the generator and wait till morning, or do I need to turn some stuff off, or what I need to do?
And you don't have to get up to go and look at that.
And do I really want to turn on the generator? Let's just shut some stuff off for a minute and then see, you know, let it collect what I need and then turn it back on, you know, to save my...
And I don't know if you guys saw, but there is a feature in the app where, like, when you hold the phone, it'll tell you what orientation of the vehicle will give you the most solar production too.
Oh,
I hadn't seen that yet, but...
that's
and that'll be nice. It's going to be out in broad sun to you know, test it on our end. You know, we want to test it. We're still selling it, but we want to test it to be able to, we verify, you know, y'all verify. We want to be able to say, yep, that's how it was. So.
Yeah, cool. Any final thoughts from you guys? I mean, that's pretty much all I got. But...
I honestly think it's like bringing science fiction to life finally. You know, I spent my life reading the magazines as a little kid in the 90s, and this feels like something that came right out of the magazine, something we were dreaming about 25 years ago. And here it is, real life. I installed it. I got to play with it. We got to test it. It's real. You know, this isn't just a pop-up panel outside your back door, plug into the side. This is real. This is going to provide you sustainable energy on something you can live in, and a lot of people are. And they, you know, I think it's just incredible that we have the opportunity to bring this out to Arizona to begin with. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I think I keep thinking about, like, who's going to buy, right? Who's the market? And I think that it's such a wide one now. We're thinking about, like, the one that we put it on is a great tailgater, but if we were to put it on a toy hauler, it's going to be great for people that, you know, leave the trailer somewhere while they go out dooning for a few hours. They get to come back and it's all charged and ready to go, and they don't have to do anything. Or the people that just go out into the middle of nowhere and they're nowhere to be found, and they just leave their awning open and they go hike for a few days and they come back, and it's good. So all these adventuring ideas, and then also just the people that want to live in it, not necessarily going out and doing anything crazy or living off the grid, even just living in it. And I think that that's such a cool idea, that they don't have to sacrifice their entire roof or have to get up there and risk falling to inspect anything. Yeah. And I really appreciate you guys coming out here and being so open to new ideas, right? It's a pretty new product, and you guys are so open to learning new things. And we're out here, we have so many RVs, and you guys are like looking at them, and I think that goes a long way. A lot of people just want to be like, okay, we built this thing, you're going to do whatever we say, or this is, if you don't like it, shove off. But I think it says a lot about the company as a whole that you guys are out here showing us how to do it and learning alongside us.
Yeah, anytime you guys, like I said, good, bad feedback, we'll hear all of it.
Well, and there's other applications, like we told you, food trucks are going to be big. Municipalities are going to be big. Cargo trailers are going to be big, in addition to RVs and whatever. The dual sides are going to be big. If you're out there, one's not going to be enough. You want it two. So that's what, the only other feedback we have is, to cover the screws up there on the mounting brackets.
Potentially a barrier for rain as well. I don't know. We didn't really talk about this. Is it okay to be out in the wet?
Yeah.
Like, it can be open, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can be open, yeah.
Okay.
But we have had some feedback where because the panels sometimes they don't close all the way. You can see there are some gaps.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
in it that you will have some water come through.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So that's why I was thinking like a translucent fabric of some sort. But yeah, you already have the arms ready for it, so if you could figure out something on that, so that if it was to say mist, even just a light rain, it's not going to drip down. It can run off the sides or something like that. But yeah, we've been through all that already, I think.
Right. But, other applications. So I can't wait to see that. More people bring more stuff in here and say, I want that, I want that, I want that. For different applications, we don't even know yet, besides the ones we've spitballed, so. But I have sent pictures to people I've worked with before, and one of the first things they sent me back was, "That's so cool." And I showed him this. I sent this picture, and I said, and he came back with, "Oh my gosh, is that aftermarket or is that manufacturer installed?" Because he knows it's a brand new Aspen Trail. And he's one of my favorite service directors, so I had to send it to him because, haha, look what we got. That's what I sent him. And he was like, oh gosh, that's so cool. And, he's asking, is it on the new one? So that's a way for y'all, if you get to the manufacturers and they can come with them. I know that knocks our service department out of the loop, but we're still going to service them if something's damaged or warranty or whatever. But, what a way to get it to Florida without shipping it. Do you know what I mean? It's on a unit from Indiana, from the manufacturer to get it down there, and that, it's already installed. And so what a way to do that. But that means that your install team will have to live in Indiana for a while at the manufacturer to get it, prepped and whatever, or,
Oregon.
or you hire, a team there, or whatever. But if you got it there, that's a whole lot of these out from the manufacturer that can get it to other states that aren't so close to California, or ship it or whatever, but get them on them and have the dealers buy them with them on.
Yeah.
And they may not buy them all with them on, but we order new units all the time. You check a box and go, I want this feature, I want this floor plan, I want whatever. Check mark, I want an exponent, so yeah.
Right. Yeah, who knows, maybe Dutchman will
Right.
see this and be like, hey, that's our vehicle.
Right. And say, okay, how many can we, and what dealers want to do them where in other states, they're already installed, and what can we do with that kind of thing.
All right, guys, that's all I had. But,
Okay.
It was a pleasure. Yeah.
All
Awesome,
right,
thanks.
thank you.
guys so much. Man,
Appreciate
good meeting you.
Nice
Good
meeting you.
Good working with you.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, bro.
Nice
You
meeting
too, thanks, man.
Thank you for all your guys'
Yeah,
support.
thanks. Appreciate you guys' help today. And yesterday.
Of course. Nice meeting you.